Long, long ago, the earth was a different place. The world was ruled by women alone. They lived in a village called Umoja, which meant unity in their ancient language. Life flourished in Umoja, with each woman contributing her gifts to the well-being of all. There was Maji, the healer who knew the secrets of herbs and rivers, Afwa, the hunter who could run as fast as the wind, and Amara, the storyteller who held the memory of their people in songs and tales. Together, the women of Umoja had created a society of peace, wisdom, and strength. At the heart of Umoja was the great tree of Sima, a massive, ancient tree with leaves like silver and roots that reached deep into the earth. Sima was more than a tree, she was a protector and a guide. Her roots held the earth together, and her branches stretched toward the stars, a bridge between the world of humans and the realm of the spirits. The women of Umoja revered Sima and believed that she watched over them, whispering secrets to those who listened. One night, while the village slept, the great tree began to tremble. Mama Nayoka, the oldest and wisest of the women, awoke with a start. She heard a faint whisper carried by the wind, a message from Sima herself. The prophecy was clear, but ominous. A stranger will come, unlike any you have ever known. He will bring change, both dangerous and wondrous. Be wise, my daughters, for he will test the harmony of your world. Mama Nayoka kept this prophecy to herself, waiting for the right moment to reveal it. The other women sensed that something had changed but did not press her. They trusted her to guide them when the time was right. Many seasons passed, and one night, as the women gathered under the stars, they saw a brilliant light streak across the sky. It was unlike any star they had ever seen, a fiery tail that blazed across the heavens and seemed to come to earth itself, striking near the great tree of Sima with a thunderous boom. The ground shook, and the village was thrown into chaos. Frightened but curious, the women gathered torches and went to the site of the impact. As they approached the great tree, they found something, or someone, lying beneath her branches. It was a figure, tall and strong, with broad shoulders and strange features they had never seen before. His face was different, more angular, his body more muscular, and his voice, when he finally stirred, was like thunder. He introduced himself as Zuberi, though he did not know how he had come to be there. In his eyes was confusion, but also wonder, as if he had been reborn into a world he did not understand. The women, led by Mama Nayoka, encircled him, their expressions cautious but curious. "Where do you come from, stranger?" Mama Nayoka asked. "I do not know," Zuberi replied. "One moment I was surrounded by light, and now I am here, among you. I have never seen such a place, nor such people." The women were both captivated and wary. Zuberi's presence stirred something within them, a feeling of both intrigue and unease. Mama Nayoka finally spoke. "You may stay among us, but you must learn our ways. Our world is built on balance and respect. We do not harm, and we do not take more than we need." Zuberi nodded, grateful but uncertain of what lay ahead. Zuberi tried to adapt to life in Umoja, but he was unused to their ways. He was strong and eager to help, yet his strength often caused unintended harm. When he helped gather water from the river, he spilled half of it. When he joined the women in gathering crops, he pulled plants from the ground with too much force, damaging the roots. The women grew frustrated, though they tried to teach him gently. But it wasn't just his strength that troubled them, it was his ideas. Zuberi did not understand why they hunted only what they needed or why they always sought the wisdom of the elders before making decisions. He had new ideas, bold ideas, and he could not understand why the women resisted them. Zuberi was used to acting on his impulses, while the women were bound by tradition and community. One evening, after a particularly disastrous day, Zuberi confronted Mama Nayoka. "Why must I follow your ways?" he demanded. "I have ideas that can make your lives easier. Why do you cling to these old traditions?" Mama Nayoka looked at him with calm eyes. We have lived in harmony for many generations, Zubari. We honor the earth, and in return, she provides. Change is not our enemy, but it must be guided by respect and wisdom. Zubari walked away, frustrated and feeling misunderstood. In his heart, he wanted to prove his worth, to show them that he could contribute something valuable. One fateful night, as a great storm brewed on the horizon, Zubari noticed the river beginning to swell. In his own land, he had seen what storms could do, and he felt a deep sense of urgency. He proposed a solution that seemed radical to the women, building a dam to protect the village from flooding. The women hesitated. Building the dam would mean cutting down trees, altering the natural flow of the river. They debated the idea, unsure whether to listen to Zubari or to trust in their old ways. The storm clouds gathered, dark and heavy, as if the heavens themselves were angry. Finally, in desperation, they agreed to try his idea. Together, they worked through the night, building a dam that would hold back the worst of the floodwaters. The rain came down in torrents, and the river raged, but the dam held. When the storm passed, Umoja was safe, but the land bore scars, trees had been felled, and the river's course had shifted. Some of the women were grateful, but others felt uneasy. They worried that they had disturbed the balance, that the world was somehow different now. In the days that followed, strange things began to happen. The crops did not grow as they once had, and the river's fish were fewer. The women whispered that the balance had been broken at Zubari's arrival, and his ways had brought a curse upon the land. In their frustration, some began to turn against Zubari, blaming him for the changes. Zubari, feeling alone and misunderstood, withdrew from the community. But one night he was visited by Mama Nayoka, who sat with him in silence for a long time before she spoke. Change is like fire, Zubari. It can warm, but it can also destroy. The world is not rejecting you, but it is asking you to listen, to understand its ways. Zubari listened, feeling humbled. He realized he had been so focused on proving himself that he had not respected the world he had entered. He had tried to make Umoja fit his own ideas rather than adapting to the wisdom of its people. Determined to set things right, Zubari returned to the village and asked for forgiveness. He suggested a ritual of rebalance, the way to ask Sima and the spirits for harmony. The women, seeing his sincerity, agreed, and together, they prepared a ceremony under the great tree. They danced and sang, offering gifts to Sima, and Zubari stood among them, humbled and grateful. As the dawn broke, a new understanding took root in his heart. To truly be part of Umoja, he would need to honor its balance, to give as much as he took. In the years that followed, Zubari and the women of Umoja found a way to live in true harmony. They learned from one another, blending strength with wisdom and unity with individuality. The great tree flourished once more, and the balance was restored. The tale of the first man among women became a cherished story, told for generations, the reminder that true strength lies not in one's will alone but in the willingness to embrace and honor the world around us.